welcome back to Ktalk, where we talk about all the hottest ongoing K dramas. We're your hosts. I'm Mel.
And I'm Uma. Hi, everyone. On today's after show, we are talking about one of the most highly anticipated shows of the year, Dear Hongrang.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, Dear Hongrang is about this young heir that goes missing and returns home about 12 years later. Right away, his mom is super accepting and believes that this is her little boy that's come back home. And the dad and the sister are kind of, the dad doesn't really care. He just seems like a passive type character. But the sister for sure is like, no, this is not my little brother. And all hell breaks loose after that.
Yeah, Dear Hongrang stars the one and only Jae-wook, who
Woo!
plays Hongrang. Jo Bo-ah, who plays Jae, and Jung Ga-ram, who plays Mujin.
Oh, Mujin.
Yeah.
I have so many thoughts. You know what? I have so many thoughts about
I have
all
so
of
many
that.
thoughts. I don't even know where to begin.
About the entire show. First
Yes.
of all, I don't understand how everybody and their mama is saying like this is one of the best shows ever. Like I've heard the word masterpiece being thrown around. And just because something is highly anticipated, when it arrives, can we try to be a little honest about it? Just because our fave is in it does not mean it's the best thing to ever come out.
No, I 100% agree. I was like, masterpiece. But then again, I feel like with this community, it doesn't take much for them to consider something a masterpiece, I've realized. But I love Jae-wook, like everyone else. He's literally the king of historical dramas, to be honest. I honestly don't want to see him in anything else but historicals at this point.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I like to see him in anything. I was a little disappointed in that Air show, The Impossible Air.
Yeah, I didn't even watch that.
You know, that was like, but I do enjoy him. And I want to say the acting was perfection. Okay.
It was, yeah.
The cinematography was out of this world. Those fight scenes,
Oh my God.
just incredible. And
Yeah.
that's a lot coming from me because I tend to fast forward through fight scenes. I find them
I
very
loved
boring.
every minute of those fight scenes. Like his swordsmanship is just insane.
Literally, I was like, the training must have been insane for this.
But I think he still has it from Alchemy of Souls, to be honest, because he was doing the damn thing in that as well. And I feel like you didn't watch it, so he's really giving Jung-uk season 2. If you know, you know. Like his whole aura, the way he's carrying himself in Hongrang, it just gives me that. So yeah, I'm here for it.
I'll take your word for it because
Yeah.
I don't
You
know.
need to watch it. It's so good.
I don't know. I don't like a lot of fantasy, but I will try. Okay. Masterpiece wise, the soundtrack. Can we talk about the soundtrack for a second?
Oh my God, the OST is so beautiful. Like it actually gave me chills.
It was
chills.
right?
Yeah.
At first I'm like, is this Bollywood?
A part of me felt like I'm like, is this a spell? Like it was just so captivating. I'm like, what is
beautiful
It
and
is.
haunting and like
Yeah.
I had no idea I haven't even looked up the lyrics yet. I'm just enjoying the sound.
No, I gotta
of
look
it.
up the lyrics because I'm like, a part of me is like,
Oh, it has to be deep and beautiful and
Yeah.
like super longing. I don't even care
no,
what
it
it is at
definitely
this
gave
point.
Bollywood when I
It's-
heard it. I was like, hold up, this sounds
But
familiar.
it's not.
Yeah.
And you know, even though I didn't finish all of The Star Is Born, I did watch the first couple of episodes. Did it not also sound like that? Was it called Pansori?
Yeah.
Did it not sound like
it
that?
does.
Apart, like
But
it
apparently,
was influenced by that as well.
no, apparently this music is like historical kind of Korean music. It is.
Okay.
So yeah,
I loved it.
I
was
loved
beautiful.
it. It's so beautiful.
This year, the soundtracks are amazing.
They really are.
And not to go on a rant about it, I don't think Dear Hongrang was bad. I just don't think it's as great as everybody else is saying because there was a couple of plot holes. There was just some things that didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, same.
And sometimes the pacing was off a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into it. Hongrang comes back. His sister's been mourning him for 12 years. His mom has kind of gone a little crazy.
Yeah, she pretty much became a opium addict.
Right? Like,
Yeah,
I guess a crackhead.
pretty much. Yeah.
All right.
In that time.
Exactly, in that time, right? She was just
Yeah.
doing weird things. And she kind of lost herself, lost her mind a little bit. The dad. In the beginning, I was like, why is this man so passive about everything? Like, the stepmom abuses Jae-hee. She's hated her from day one.
That really pisses me off. Like,
right?
Yeah.
Jae-hee, I think, could not get over her brother being missing and was mourning him this entire time. One, because you don't know if he's dead or alive. I get that part. But two, is because he was the only person that loved her and had affection for her outside of the household staff, right? Like,
Yeah, it was like them two against the world.
her dad didn't give two
Yeah.
shits about her, and her mom abused her at any chance that she got. But anyways, Hongrang shows up now. Oh wait, before we get to Hongrang, Jae has an adopted brother, Moojin.
Yeah. So once Hongrang, I guess, went missing, he just brought in another kid.
His dad
just adopted
exactly
a
from
kid.
a kid from his side of the family,
Yeah.
right? Not his wife's side of the
Yeah.
family. Somebody that was close to his bloodline, I guess.
Yeah.
Because he really loses his mind when he was like, well, I don't have a son anymore. You're the kind of like the heir. He's
Yeah.
building him up to
That was the
lead
sole.
the
I feel
business.
like that was the sole purpose why he adopted him.
basically,
yeah.
right, to help him run this business and kind of take it away from his wife's
Yeah.
family.
And
because
kind of have
it-
someone on his side. Kind of
exactly,
thing, you
somebody
know?
100% on his team.
Yeah.
The first chance the dad gets, he throws everybody under the bus.
Yeah.
We find out he's actually very fucking selfish,
He is.
right?
And even if you think about it, how he even got into that position
Mhm.
from the beginning,
Well, let's
he's
speak on that.
always been a shady character. This woman literally came to him and said, "Hey, either you can go with the love of your life at the moment,
Okay,
or
be
you
the
can
head
sign this and
take
come,
over for my dad.
basically,
Basically, her dad got sick.
and you can become rich and have status." And he pretty much chose
That's
that.
what I couldn't figure out. So
Yeah.
my understanding was this guy always, like, he wasn't cheating on her. I think he had this other woman that he was in love with,
Yeah.
and she said, choose me or choose her.
Yeah.
He chooses his current wife.
Yeah.
But I feel like he kept her on as a mistress. The love of, like, his first love.
Yeah.
Because when she gets pregnant, you kind of, like, it's like he was cheating on his wife. That's what I gathered.
Yeah.
So anyways, she loses her shit.
She finds
and
out,
kills
yeah.
the woman.
So she thinks.
Okay. True. So here's the first thing that I didn't like, that I had issues with. Okay. When we see the mistress.
Okay,
get-
first of all, I was confused. I don't know about you. I thought that woman was J.E.'s mom because in the beginning they said she was the lady with the evil stepmom was talking to J.E.'s like, "Oh, your mom died in childbirth," and
her mom died when she was giving birth to Jae-hee.
Yes, and this woman, she thought she died too,
No.
but the baby saved her, right?
Here's the thing. I think this woman is a second wife now that we're thinking about it, because who did Jae-hee come from?
That's what I mean. That's
So
why I was
Jae-hee
confused.
maybe might have been his first wife. Again, see, the fact that this is not even clear because they didn't give us enough background.
That's what I mean. I was
is one of the
kinda
things that I had an
confused.
issue with.
Yeah,
Okay, so yeah, Jae-hee's mom is like died in childbirth. So was he cheating on her?
and then they showed this woman pregnant, getting stabbed. So
that's a mistress.
So automatically,
that
you
is a
would-
mistress.
No, but automatically you would assume, okay, is this J.E.'s mom?
No. Jae-hee's mom died in natural childbirth. That's why she's like, you're a demon,
Oh, okay.
right? Bringing her into this world took her mom
Again,
out.
that was confusing. I could see
Very
why.
confusing. See, this is my beef with the show. That's why it's not a
Yeah.
masterpiece, because there's so many unanswered questions.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have Jae-hee now. Let's call her the stepmom now, the second wife, whatever she may be, has his son. That's Hongrang.
Yeah.
Jae-hee and Hongrang are super close. This woman wants her son to inherit everything. She just cannot stand Jae-hee. Maybe it reminds her of the other woman. I don't
Yeah.
know. But she essentially abuses Jae-hee from day one. Jae-hee's very close to her brother, so that's them. What I don't understand is now, moving forward, Hongrang and Jae-hee exist, but this guy turns out to have a mistress. She tries to kill that mistress,
Because she is also pregnant.
I guess.
She was pregnant. Yeah.
All right. They stab her in the belly. And then we see her falling back into this like shallow grave. I'm assuming they buried her. How does she
Yeah,
survive that?
I
And then she comes back with a flimsy line of like, oh, the baby took the sword?
basically, yeah.
But you were in a grave. Again, see?
Yeah.
details that like just did not add up for me. But anyways, moving on from them. Hongrang comes back. Jae-hee doesn't believe it's Hongrang. The mom's like, F all of you guys. This is my son. I know it. Because the mom and the dad really are enemies. They're frenemies.
Yeah.
And they're vying for control of the business. Of the guild.
And she also hates Moojin, obviously. Yeah.
Clearly, right? The adopted son, because she knew exactly why he was doing that, right? So she has been a crackhead for many years. So she's very like paranoid and thinks that like, you know, she wants to be in control of the business because it was essentially her family business.
It is, yeah.
Right. When Hongrang comes back, Jae-hee doesn't believe that it's him. But he's got...
At first.
Yeah. At first.
But Eva's stepmom 100% believes it through and through.
She loves it. Everything is great. The dad's like, all right, if you're him, you're him.
They did a bunch of tests.
They did a bunch of weird tests.
What I want to know is how did he pass the little blood test that they...
First of all, does that blood test even make sense?
That's what I mean. I'm
like two droplets in a water
and then they
dish,
intertwine.
That means you have the same blood type. You know what? Maybe it's an olden day thing. Yeah. I'm not going to give that much thought to it because...
But my thing is he passed that.
Yeah, of course he did.
Okay.
The test itself does not make sense to me. Therefore, I'm like, I don't believe in the results. What did he do?
But apparently the other ones didn't pass that test.
Yes. Right?
There are many
and
imposters.
Throughout the years, there was a shit ton of imposters that every time they figured out it wasn't the real Hongrang, they ended up getting their arms chopped off. Like, just these extreme punishments for even daring to trick this family and become the heir.
Yeah.
Right? Anyway, so that's why Jae-hee's like, I don't know. The dad's like, let's do the test. Kind of softly believes it. And he was like, okay, Moojin, the adopted son now, is going to train Hongrang to take over the reins and assume his rightful position as the heir and lead the business and become the chief merchant.
Yeah.
All right.
That's kind of dirty, though. Like, the fact that he did him like that.
Oh, he didn't give a the dad didn't care about anyone.
He doesn't, obviously.
All. So now we know the mom and the dad low-key hate each other. The mom wants to believe that this is the real Hongrang because she wants somebody on her side now.
Yeah.
Okay. Moojin now. Let's talk about the siblings. Hongrang, Jae-hee, and Moojin.
Yeah.
The adopted brother is in love with his adopted sister.
You know what's crazy? In the beginning, I really believed that it was literally legit. He just seen it as a sister, to be honest.
The minute
from the beginning,
Hongrang showed up,
yes,
he was like,
exactly. Yeah.
You couldn't... No, he was looking at her a little too tender for my liking. That was not a brotherly love look that was happening.
No, from the beginning. No, I feel like
it was very weird. Moojin, you know what? I personally think he loved her from the get-go, and it was very obvious.
But my thing is, you had her to yourself all of these years. If you want to make a move on her, why not?
He was playing the long game because Moojin's a loser who was moving too slow. Like, he tells the father, I want you to disown me so I can marry Jae-hee.
Okay, yeah.
Why couldn't he do that earlier is what I'm saying, right? I mean, we're going to jump back and forth.
Yeah.
There's no way the story is going to make sense without, like, I can't go in chronological order because none of it made sense to me somehow. So, Hongrang shows up. We find out that Moojin is in love with Jae-hee, but he doesn't do anything about it. And he's kind of iffy. He's siding with her. He's like, we don't know if this is the real Hongrang. Because one, he doesn't want to lose his position as, like, the head of the little chief merchant position, also, right? Yeah. The entire time. Is there anything you want to say about that part before we get into what's weird about these siblings?
What part?
All of it, girl.
Yeah, like I said, Moojin, I just assumed he truly seen her as a sister, but I feel like he started acting up once Hongrang got in the picture. That's when he started acting weird and, like...
Okay.
Yeah.
We also find out in that time, before we jump forward too far, we also find out that there is this painter and there is a character called the Snowman. In this village, children are continuously going missing. Yes. They're being kidnapped.
And from the opening scene, you see the Snowman kind of like chasing Hongrang, young Hongrang.
Young Hongrang, so that we know how he went missing. So
I assumed 100% the Snowman took him.
Yes.
But later on, we find out that's not what happened.
No.
At all. That's what I'm saying. So,
at all. Yeah. But here's the big conflict that, Jae-hee and Hongrang. Hongrang's hidden agenda is to figure out how these kids are going missing.
Yeah.
And if the merchant is involved.
And find the painter.
And find the painter. And he knows it's in this little village. So they're all searching. Jae-hee's doing it herself too, because for the past 12 years, she hasn't just been sitting idle. She's been going to different towns, talking to a lot of nomads, like travelers and different vendors and business owners to kind of like see if they know about her brother. Yeah. And she has like updated pictures of him kind of like growing up throughout the years and what he might look like now.
Yes.
So all that's happening. Hongrang doesn't know that Hongrang and Jae-hee at the beginning don't know that they're looking for the same people trying to figure out the same kidnapping ring.
Yeah, because that's the person that kidnapped her brother.
Exactly.
In the beginning, I assumed the snowman creature wasn't human. Is it not?
Yeah, the way it was portrayed, it looked like it was like a ghost-like figure.
Yeah.
Like a demon entity of some sort.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
But
then we find out he's just human.
That looks like that.
Yes. Just a very tall, pale,
yeah,
ghostly white.
And also in the beginning opening scene, Jung Hongrang was saying something, sister, is that you or something
come across, like he's telling Jae-hee in that flashback that little Hongrang really did come across a snowman. He just wasn't taken by him, but he was somehow aware of him. He's seen him and he thought it was a dream.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought that scene was when he disappeared.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I assumed the snowman took Jung Hongrang. That's what I mean. It's just a lot of just...
It was a lot, okay?
Yeah.
So we find out that Hongrang is indeed fake. He's not the real Hongrang, okay? And Jae-hee, up until a certain point, is always testing him. Because he keeps saying, I have no memories, like... But he does little things that he learns from, like, the servants and, like, just being around the house that he picks up on little things that little Hongrang did, and he presents it to Jae-hee and anybody else and kind of makes it look like, see, you guys, like, memories are slowly starting to come back.
And then the servant lady tells her about this little sachet.
Yes.
He finds one. It's not the same one we find out later on.
They make one.
Yeah, they make one. He takes it to Jae-hee. She breaks down because now she's saying, this is my brother. Now she believes it.
So now she's fully on board.
Yes.
She's like, this is my brother. But just before that, while he's convincing Jae-hee and everybody, Hongrang is starting to be like, oh my God, I think I like Jae-hee. But Hongrang, it's fine for him to think that. He knows he's not her brother.
Exactly.
But this is the part that I find so concerning.
My thing is like, yes, you know you're not her brother, but you're supposed to be playing a role, sir.
It doesn't matter. He couldn't help it. He could not help it. Yeah. Fine. But what was disturbing to me, what I found most concerning was after the satchel was presented, she does all these little tests, and in her heart, she believes this is her brother. Mm-hmm. She turns around and let this man lick her fingers in an overtly sexual manner and is sitting there confused.
And then he caresses her lips as well. And I'm like, in what world is your brother licking your fingers and you're allowing him? Like, and you're not slapping him? You're not...
Literally slapping the daylight out. No. Because...
And when that wasn't... If that wasn't enough, then he literally grabs her and kisses her. And then she runs off, hides behind a thing, and she's like, oh my God, I think I'm losing my mind because I'm starting to see my brother as a man. That was the most uncomfortable.
That kiss, though, did not happen in the same scene where he was licking the
sugar
off her hands, right?
No, it wasn't.
Okay,
it was after.
Yeah.
But then you're going to run off and say, I'm starting to see my brother as a
Which
man.
is wild to me. And from that moment on, everything that the show was trying to do and convince me of their love at the end was out the window.
Oh my God, same.
Out the fucking window.
Same.
Because let's be honest here, okay?
Yeah.
We've all seen it. It's been out for a week now. Here's the thing. If they had just changed that introduction just a little bit, maybe if they never had Jae-hee even entertain the fact that he was her brother for one tiny little second, I could get behind this epic love story.
Me too.
Right? Like, she should have stuck to her grounds and been like, no, this is not my brother. I don't care. And then I think she should have found out really quickly that he wasn't, so that she could start entertaining these feelings.
Because
in a normal manner.
You believe he's your brother, then you're talking about, I'm yearning for you, and then I'm starting to see you as a man. I was like, okay, this is
What
taking
type of incestuous, like, hot mess is this?
And then I feel like that's the reason why she wanted to leave with Moojin for real.
Yes, she did. And she
Because
even said that. She's like, I'm free, as she should.
Because I feel like had she stayed, she would have risked it, brother
Yes,
or not,
brother or not, without even finding out.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing. So now that we're all genuinely grossed out here,
Yeah.
they kind of speed up the whole discovery of, like, to make her feel better and to make us feel better, I think.
Yeah.
And get behind this love story that's about to unfold, that she quickly finds things to realize, like, he's been lying to her. Like when she found
Finds
the
a
real
real
satchel.
Yeah.
Right? Here's the thing. It's been 12 years. And the way she found that satchel in her little cave,
Yeah.
a little too obvious. So you couldn't see that satchel for the past 12 years.
Yeah.
Too convenient.
Yeah.
I was like,
It
no,
was.
this is not happening.
Yeah, like you said, after that, I was over the romance part.
Listen,
I was
okay,
so over it. I
the
was
very
like,
last
okay.
scene, knowing me,
Yeah.
I should have been on the floor weeping. I'm just looking at this. I'm like, can he die already? Like,
To be
what's
honest,
taking so long
To be
here?
honest, I was like, I think it's best. He needs to rest.
I could not believe it.
No,
First of all, all the fighting he'd been doing.
I feel like he needs to, and I feel like this man's nickname is Soul Reaper. I feel like even if he stayed alive, I don't think he would ever feel peace. To be honest, like I think he'd be fighting for the rest of his life because I'm sure there's a lot of people after this man. He done took some souls. Okay, so yeah,
Exactly. He's always been fighting, but he's literally been like fighting
Yeah.
for his life the entire time.
yeah.
I don't think he's like killing people unnecessarily.
No.
Which was a nice surprise because you never think that you would side more with somebody called Soul Reaper over the soft, affectionate, kind-hearted adopted brother who turned out to be an entire animal.
Oh, he's sick. Like
Beyond sick. It's like, so wait, you were just nice because you genuinely love Jae-hee, but you're not a good person though.
yeah, because once he said to Jae-hee, you know I don't need your permission to marry you. I was
Girl,
like, okay.
The word, I don't need your consent or permission.
Yeah,
I said, good Lord, Moojin, just
yeah.
rip the whole mask off.
Literally.
And once that man did not even give us time to catch our breath.
At all.
The minute he was like, she likes Hongrang, he lost his goddamn mind. He became super obsessive.
Yeah,
Morals out the window.
yeah,
Okay? So the show, essentially, Hongrang now is looking for the painter.
yeah.
The painter is...
The Grand Prince. First of all, can I just say the first scene I seen of that man sitting in that room with the butterflies, just like, I knew he was sick.
He
Like-
was weird.
Like, he was a weirdo.
He's like one with nature and spewing all this nonsensical fucking ass.
and he's like, who?
Ascending, like, otherworldly bullshit.
And then he was like, who would damage the wings of these creatures? And I was like, okay.
You're doing too much.
this guy's a
First
freak.
of all, I know. He's such a freak. Listen, both Jae-wooks did what they needed to do, okay? Because I love that man. And seeing him, I was like, oh, then he turned out to be a weirdo. Then he turns out to be the biggest sicko
Yeah.
ever. Because apparently, the Grand Prince is who's been kidnapping all these children and using their bodies as a human canvas.
To make human talismans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, he's gonna perform
This
what was it?
ritual.
This ritual where all the pictures, the talisman, he needed a human talisman and all different pictures on their backs. And we find out that Hongrang was one of those kids.
Yes.
That's why he's trying to find the painter. Hongrang and his mute friend escaped
Yes.
and were adopted by the mistress who got stabbed in the belly but yet lived.
Which is wild. And now he considers her his mother.
Exactly.
Calls her-
But she did adopt them.
Yeah.
Right? And did raise them up to
Yeah, she bought
take
them,
revenge
basically.
on this family.
Yeah.
So she is why Hongrang is being an imposter now and wants to take over this family's entire business
Yeah.
and wealth and power.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. One thing I want to say is way too many fucking characters. I was losing track of people left, right, and
Yeah.
center because we have several crews here, several groups
Yeah.
of people, which was driving me insane. We have the prince and his freaking minions, okay? Then we have the merchant, the dad and Moojin and their minions, but then dad and Moojin also have separate
yeah,
fucking
people.
minions.
Yeah.
Then there's this hooligan gang that we meet at the beginning.
led by a guy named Bang-suk.
Bang-suk.
Bang-suk is also,
Okay.
mind you, a villain from Alchemy of Souls, which is
Oh,
hilarious.
really? Love that.
A little reunion.
Yeah. So
But yeah,
Bang-suk has this other moment where I'm like, this is too much. I know
Yeah.
this is supposed to be like crazy,
yeah,
but he got Sparta kicked off a cliff
exactly.
with his eye cut out with a serious injury.
Slashed out. That's what I'm like.
And you survived that. And out of nowhere, we just see him with a little eye patch all of a sudden. So I'm like, these two people should have been clearly dead, but somehow they're surviving.
he literally flew off a cliff. I'm like, I see him. I'm like, how are you alive?
How did you survive with
Yeah.
all those rocks at the bottom, right?
Yeah.
Again, you gotta suspend belief here, but it was too much.
Yeah,
He just kept coming around, and I was finally happy when he was gone. Okay?
Yeah.
Another thing that was unbelievable to this story. Let's see. Oh, here's another thing that they didn't give us a background on that I was like, this is weird. What was that part where the dad grabs the mom by her neck and he's like, is Hongrang even my son?
yeah.
Was she cheating with her right-hand man, the aide? He looked like he really loved that woman.
Yeah. He looked like
They were totally sleeping together, right?
I think the way he be looking at her, I think he was in love with her.
And what makes the chief, the dad, think that Hongrang wasn't his? Because he be cheating all the time, so he's projecting that onto her as well.
And
or
also
he sees the weird
the
closeness,
closeness.
of her and her aide, right?
Yeah.
I wanted a background story
On so many things.
on her life, why she wanted to make that guy her husband. Remember, she's the one with money. And we find out from Moojin when he's asking the dad to disown him so he can marry Jae-hee. And the dad's like, that's kind of weird. He's like, no, it's not, because everybody knows we're not blood related.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but didn't you do the exact same thing? Like you were trying to work for her father, but ended up becoming his son-in-law.
Yeah.
And so this guy was always ambitious and said, fuck to the people that I love. I want this.
Yeah.
All right. So I was like,
he has no integrity, and that's exactly how she even got him to begin with.
Yeah, and if she came from money, why didn't she have her choice of like eligible men? Why was she obsessed? Did she at one point really love this guy?
That's what I mean. Or maybe because she seemed like she had a really obsessive kind of personality. I think she maybe just got obsessed with this guy. Or maybe she's seen how much he loved the other woman.
Maybe.
And was like,
let me break them apart, because she looks very sadistic too.
Yeah. I also would want a backstory of how did the snowman come about? Where did he come from?
The snowman works with the prince, first of all.
Yes, but how did that come about? How did they meet? How did that happen?
Sickos.
And that's what I mean. I feel like most historicals are usually 16 episodes for a reason. I feel like this was rushed, and if they gave us 16 episodes, I feel like it would make more sense.
Girl, they should have cut it down to 8, because after that stupid I'm in love with my sibling situation, it was like, no. Yeah. 11 was too long for me.
No, but all I'm saying is like longer as far as context goes.
We needed
like,
more
we need more
background.
context,
Yes.
more background, they just threw the romance and kind of forced it. I wish they just stuck to Hongrang's mission of finding out what, like, I would love it if it just stayed there, to be honest. We did not really need the romance.
We did not, especially since he was pretending to be her brother.
Yeah.
We totally didn't need it, because all those little, so these two run away together now that they're in love. Okay?
Yeah.
And Moojin is full on against Hongrang. There's always people, assassins, and that's another thing. Where do all these assassins keep coming from? Each crew has their own crew of mercenaries.
They do, yeah.
I was like, dear God. And Hongrang is just killing them all left, right.
Literally.
And then there's more. Like,
when they first left, exactly, Moojin sent some guys to basically take care of him by himself, literally kills all of them.
right?
Like,
my God. So the prince and the snowman disappear in the middle of the story while Hongrang, Jae-hee, and Moojin are in this weird-ass love triangle.
Yeah.
They're running around trying to figure out...
They run away together, but they think that he kidnapped her.
Yes.
So now the dad, Moojin, are sending guys out to find them. Hongrang's people is also looking for them. So all the crews are looking for them at this point.
And then the funny thing is when they happen upon a group of people, a group of men with their swords all out, you're like, wait a minute, whose crew is that? Is that friend or foe? Like, is that are those your brothers?
And
I think his brothers were actually like all in black most of the time, but they all look like the same to me.
They all were kind of wearing dark colors.
Anyways, so that was they should have pared that down a little bit because it was a little too confusing with the amount of players.
Yeah,
like it was way too much. Anyways, we find out that her dad has been in on it with the Grand Prince, the sicko prince from day one.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Before we found out for real, what happened to Hongrang, I was like, did the prince backstab the chief merchant and take Hongrang? They left that a little bit.
Yeah.
That's where my mind first went. Is that,
yeah.
Did you think, I'm like, ooh, did he backstab him? Like,
yeah.
And then I thought the dad was so sick that I'm like, don't tell me the dad is okay with, like, maybe the dad knew all along that, like, his kid was kidnapped.
And was okay with it.
Yeah. And even though we know the Grand Prince didn't take him, why didn't the dad assume that right away since he knew this man takes little kids?
Yeah.
He's a little bitch.
The merchant is an opportunist. He doesn't give a damn. Like, whatever.
And maybe he didn't say anything because deep down now we believe he didn't think Hongrang was his to begin with.
Yeah.
See, all of that was just, it was too much. I'm like, my mind was
It was too much and not enough at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain
it. I'm
it.
like, I need more information here.
Yeah.
How come he didn't care?
And that's what I mean by it should have been a little longer, just for context and just, you know.
Exactly. Because it's like, you had to put that kind of together. I'm like, oh, he didn't think. Hongrang went missing. He knows where missing kids, what happens to missing kids. How come he didn't lose his mind from the get-go? Then we find out he doesn't believe Hongrang is his. Moving on. This man is supplying children or witnesses what happens to these kids. He doesn't care. Only to find out now that Moojin finds that out too. They all find out that Hongrang is a victim of the prince. He's got this disgusting painting on his back.
That scene was it made me sad.
It made me so sad. He was so ashamed. He was so disgusted.
Ashamed that everyone is seeing it.
And
even Jae sees it. Like,
oh my God,
and it was the most disgusting one out of all the.
It really was.
Out of all of them.
Yeah.
Like,
it was gross. It's like he was tatting these kids up with like the most random shit. And
apparently that was for fertility.
Yeah, it was very pornographic. It was just so ugh. Yeah. But anyways, Moojin now, in his quest to get Jae, becomes a monster, goes to the Grand Prince and says, I want to take over my dad's position. Like, I'm in this with you. Is literally in the room while these poor kids are getting tatted up and abused and hurt in the worst ways.
And then Moojin thinks he's slick. He goes and rounds up her little slave buddies and brings them. And then the Grand Prince looks at him and is like, why would you bring them when
that's very insulting.
There's an easier...
That's not bait. Because they're trying to bait Hongrang to come back to the palace at this point. And he was like, that's not bait. This is bait.
And then you see Jae in the box.
And Moojin like a little bitch. She's like, and I'm like, evil. Duh.
And that's the thing with Moojin's like, you're not willing to go certain places, so don't even start.
Exactly. Like
you're not that guy.
A sliver of his conscience is still left.
Yeah.
The way he stabbed up the mute friend.
Oh my God. I was so pissed.
I was beyond pissed. And then I was so relieved when he was alive, but only for them.
Yeah.
For us to see that he was being like tortured, but.
Even that.
At least he died in Hongrang's arms.
I love how he was suffering that whole time, but as soon as Hongrang walked in, that's when he dies. But he was
holding. Okay. Dumb statement, okay? I must say something really stupid.
What?
What's the point of torturing somebody who's mute? At first, like, did they think they were gonna like hurt him so much that they can put a little pen in his hand and he's gonna write out where the headquarters is? Like, it just, to me, I just assumed like torture.
I didn't. Did you think they were trying to get information from him?
Yes, they were asking him where the headquarters and stuff were until they found another person.
Maybe they didn't know he was at first. And
everybody knows he's mute.
I mean, I think at that point it was like, I think at that point he just became bait as well to get Hongrang.
I think so too, because in my mind I forgot that he could write.
Because that's his little best friend.
I literally forgot that he could write, and I was just like, why are you torturing a mute? It's not like he can say anything. He can't spill the beans.
Well, he can't rap. Yeah, like I said, I think it was literally just to lure fucking Hongrang.
I think I was hate watching at this point too. Like, I have to see this to the end.
Yeah.
I really do. I was so annoyed. Hongrang comes back.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my God. First of all, can we talk about what made Moojin lose his mind? Forget the whole, like, I don't need your consent or permission.
Yeah.
But the part where he was like, I'm willing to embrace your sullied body and heart. Why can't it be me? I'm willing to take you back.
Your sullied body?
Yeah. Dirty. She's not a virgin anymore.
Oh, okay. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I think I missed that part.
Oh yeah. And did you see the part where when they first, is it the second time that they ran away or the first? I can't remember. When they're in the little cottage, the little mountain, the little shed that old man tells them, like, it's abandoned, you guys can whatever. And do you see how, like, when he's brushing her hair and then he braids it up and he puts it up like because you know how, like, the married women, and Moojin sees that from afar. He was fuming.
He was.
In that moment, I'm like, oh my God.
And that was hilarious to act like he didn't know that when she was like, I can't marry you because I'm already married. And he knew.
Oh, he knew. He was brushing his hair, put it up. She's no longer a maiden. Like,
even that. Her. How did they get married? Who did that?
In their heart.
What? How did that happen? You're in an abandoned home in the thing. When did that happen? Doesn't someone have to?
I think it came from the perspective of they're married in their heart. They've devoted themselves to one another.
That's not how it works.
They didn't have an official ceremony, but they love each other. It's that deep.
But
girl.
That's not how it works, though. But whatever.
Girl, you know it always works that way. Okay, it's dramatic.
No, they have ceremonies.
Yes, they do. Obviously, they're on the run. How are they gonna have a ceremony?
They couldn't just wait.
No, they obviously want to hook up.
Oh, okay. I mean, you already ran away.
I mean, at this point, they're sleeping together. So in their hearts, she was like, I belong to another man. Like, I am married. And that's why he was like, even you and your body now.
Girl,
even though you've been defiled and your heart is shit, I'm willing to take you back.
That marriage isn't real, girl. You guys are hooking up, and that's okay. Putting that in.
Listen, they love each other that deep, okay? Just because we didn't want to believe in that love does not mean it wasn't real. Anyways.
It's still not valid.
Moojin was just, he was just testing me. It is so valid in their hearts. Yes, it's not valid on paper.
And in society.
Listen, that's her life partner, okay? They just didn't get legally married on paper.
They don't have life partners back then.
Well, clearly this is the version of it.
So they're common law?
Yes.
They have common law back there?
Yes.
No, they don't. No, they don't. But anyways.
Anywho.
Yeah.
I forgot where I was going.
So they're married.
They are married. That's what she's like, sir, I'm committed mind, body, and soul.
Yeah.
To Hongrang, okay? I forgot what I was going to say after that.
Yeah, so anyways, they come back. First of all, Moojin gives Jae-hee some kind of wine that knocks her out.
Hongrang comes back and he's like,
Yeah. Then
not on my watch.
Yeah.
Not on my watch, sir. But still, I think Hongrang didn't even fully give, he was outnumbered at that point. Like,
yeah.
Even though he's mowing down people left, right, and center, but still.
Yeah. They take him back. Oh my God. The scene that gave me so much when he literally sliced off the Grand Prince's hands.
Listen. Okay.
Oh my God. The way he did it, I was like, oh my God, my jaw dropped. I was like,
it was amazing.
I was not expecting that.
Because the Grand Prince was so ridiculous, okay, and so grandiose in his delusion. This man gets both his hands chopped off, and he's still talking shit.
He is.
And then he was like, and Harley just looked at him and was like, you're still talking? And just slashed
his face.
I was like, yes, it was so satisfying.
Yeah.
So at first when he's like, try painting now, bitch.
Basically. With wet hands.
I was like,
with wet hands.
And he's crawling around on the ground, but then he still manages to get back up.
Yeah.
While blood is literally squirting out of his, the stump of his arms.
Yeah.
And he's still talking shit.
And then also, very satisfying when the merchant got shot in the head. Loved that for
her.
That
mistress. The way he was like, you could...
when she walked in, he's like, damn, you're resilient. Let me finish you off.
Grabbed a sword like he was going to do the most, not realizing she doesn't roll by herself.
Come on now.
But the way they got him was so nice.
Good. And honestly, I was so happy for her because this man did put her through fucking hell.
He really did.
He did.
He really fucking did. And even when she had the gun to his head, first of all, I was like, she really means business. I'm like, all you see so far is sword.
I'm like, where'd she get the gun from?
Right? I was like, oh shit, she has a gun. But even in that moment, on his knees, you could tell that he was trying to emotionally manipulate her by being like, I know I did you wrong, but you have to understand, you're the only true love I've ever had in my life.
And if you want to kill me, that's fine.
Like, she was going to be like, no, I forgive you. She didn't even let him finish his sentence.
First of all, this woman is not that same woman. She is literally ruthless. Like, she's not the same person.
Literally, her baby was stabbed in her belly.
Yeah. And he's thinking she's the same woman as back in those...
Exactly.
No,
it's like, she's been plotting on you
for
how many years? Raised Hongrang.
Literally.
To be this impersonator. Like, the final impersonator.
Yeah.
I'm glad that was a very satisfying end to him as well.
And he needs to go anyways. Like I said, the chief merchant been doing too much and been doing the most. So it's like, it's time to go, sir.
Yeah. You just knew at that point when Moojin finally came to his senses, when he was like, that's not bait. Jae-hee's bait. He finally realizes, I can't, kill Jae-hee. Everybody's fighting at this point.
Yeah.
But
did you feel like Moojin redeemed himself at the end? I don't think so. I'm like, I don't like that. You already showed your true self, and then now it's like, oh my God, I'm gonna die for you type of thing. It's like,
basically, and now he was like, oh, I'm just happy to like that you love me as a brother. Yeah. Essentially. And I was like, that was never good enough for you. Literally. This entire time you made her life so difficult. You fuck shit up for Hongrang. Yeah. You literally want to see him get killed.
Basically.
And first of all, that's another thing this is something that always gets me, no matter what genre of K-drama it is, okay? The secondhand embarrassment that I feel when it's a love triangle, but two people clearly love each other. And the third person whose love is not reciprocated, who pushes through though.
I don't understand. It's like, it can't be any clearer.
That makes my skin crawl. It doesn't I'm like, oh, this is so bad.
Yeah. It's like, why would you want to marry her by force? She likes someone else. Like, what are you going to get from that?
Laughing and having her hair brushed by Hongrang. You saw them kiss. You saw them embrace. You see the tender looks. You know that Hongrang loves her. She loves Hongrang. Why are you pushing this? So even if you do kill Hongrang, you marry her without her consent or her permission.
You think you're going to have
what kind of life will you have? Would that be enough for you?
I feel like at that point, it stops being about just, I love her.
It becomes an obsession.
It becomes an obsession and an ego thing. Like, I just want to be the one that wins, basically. You know what I mean?
But what are you winning here? Like, if I loved somebody.
At that point,
and they don't love me back, and I clearly know that they do not love me. Yeah. How could you even enjoy having that person?
That's what I mean.
Or a life
at that point, you don't care about all of that. You just care about winning at the end and saying, this person belongs to me. That's what it's about at the end.
Oh my God. It always just makes me cringe. And I'm like, oh, this is so bad. Like, read the fucking room.
Yeah. And again, you were with her for 12 years. If it didn't happen in those 12 years, sir.
She clearly saw you as a brother.
Yeah.
Stop this.
Yeah.
But Hongrang comes back. And within like 2.5 seconds, I think I love my brother.
Literally.
Yeah. Anyways, the show was just, it was crazy.
It was. I had such extremely high hopes, obviously. Mm-hmm. I'm going to give it this. Jae-wook did the damn thing in everything he was supposed to do. The acting, the action, everything. He did what he was supposed to do. Everything else, though, the story,
weird.
It was all over the place. Mm-hmm. It was just a bunch of random stuff.
Lots of context missing. Yeah. You know what? You're right. Because everything about it, from the soundtrack, the cinematography, the fight scenes, everybody's acting was on point. Yeah. It was just this weird story that wasn't paced properly. A lot of
it didn't make sense.
Yeah, wasn't giving for us to follow. Too many like characters that we couldn't keep track of. Like, it just didn't feel, smooth and like consistent, I feel.
Yeah, so anyways, fast forward. He dies in her arms.
Okay, everybody is dead at this point. All the evil people have got what was coming to them. Okay, yes, all his life he's been fighting. Yeah. He did what he needed to do. Yeah. And then finally, he makes it. I guess they had a secret like spot that they love. Yeah. He finally makes it to her, and what is supposed to be this very moving, very like gut-wrenching moment. I'm just like, I don't believe this love.
Me neither. I felt absolutely nothing.
Because of the way she entertained, because I got the ick so early on, I could not believe in this. Because that scene was perfect in every way. Like
It
the
was.
crying, the longing, the way she's
The
talking about a future
background,
that's
and
never
it
gonna
was-
be the
Yeah.
everything was so beautiful.
Even when she was saying you can rest for a little bit, like that was beautiful. And I
You know,
get
and
it.
his eyes kept getting like droopier and
Yeah.
droopier, and you just knew like the life was slowly like,
Yeah.
you know, leaving his body. I could not get in the right mindset. Like I did not, girl, my eyes didn't even well up.
At all. Me neither.
And I would have been a sobbing hot mess.
Like I said, I'm like, I did not cry once.
Yeah.
At all.
I kind of honestly, the most emotion I felt was the exposing his back scene.
Me too. Yeah.
I think that made me like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
And because he was crying too, so that made it so, I felt so sad. Like,
yeah,
but
like
not
his
like
shame, his sorrow, like everything. That scene was the only one that like really pulled at
me too.
my heart, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But
and also when he discovered his mute friend and he died in his arms.
He died in his arms, yeah, and he was like, you can go now. Like, I'm sorry, I'm too late.
Yeah.
That made me very
Me
emotional.
Too. Because I know how close they were, and they were literally like brothers, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
But the final scene of, like, the moment that they, you know he's going to die, and she's cradling him, and it's just written so beautifully, beautifully shot.
Yeah.
It's just that tiny ick that I got at the beginning.
Yeah.
Took away the joy that I could have had. Or the sorrow I could have felt.
When that whole I'm starting to see my brother as a man thing happened,
are you okay?
I was like, you guys need to leave each other alone. Like I was just over. Like I didn't want
to. First of all, I understand that your entire life you've been deprived of love and affection, but this is not normal between siblings. Like you shouldn't even this shouldn't even cross your mind. And you know what, honestly, fine. Just to be the devil's advocate, maybe it even entertained her mind a little bit because she wholeheartedly held on to the fact that maybe he's not, but then she did believe he was, and acknowledged that.
And that's
so
why,
was that a lie to herself?
And that's what I mean. People are making, I see online, people are like, no, but she knew in her heart.
That he wasn't Hongrang?
Yeah, but that was after she literally cried, got the statue, was like, she believed it wholeheartedly at that point. So you can't even excuse that away and be like, oh, but she knew in her heart he wasn't. Yes, she did. At that moment, she thought it was her brother. So there's no
exactly.
way to...
I can't. Exactly. I can't find a way to excuse it. Like it was just ick all around.
Yeah.
How sad were you when you found out what really happened to the real Hongrang?
I know.
And look what his evil mom brought that on him. Because here's the thing. When you mess with
shamans
and like dark magic, whatever, like it's gonna happen to you. So
and then to find out. And then so
she creates this like voodoo doll, and it's Jae-hee, and she has a shaman lady put a spell on it because she wants Jae-hee to die. She's like, they're stabbing up the little thing, and then they put it up above Jae-hee's door. Yeah, right. Hongrang sees that, climbs the door while he's trying to get the voodoo doll and save his sister, essentially. Falls back, cracks his head open
on a rock. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's what I loved and respected about Jae-hee. When they discovered the body in the well, that it was him, and she said to the evil stepmom, this was all your fault. Because had you not put that up there, he wouldn't have
climbed the thing to crack his head open. Yeah. You essentially killed Hongrang. This is your fault. But she deserves that. It's like, I'm sorry. Yeah. You don't wish bad evil on people and then don't think it's going to hit you twice. Yeah. But... that was very sad. And then the servant lady. So I'm thinking, was Hongrang dead upon impact?
Yes, as soon as he fell back on that rock, it was
lights
dead.
out, gone?
Yeah.
Okay. Because
I feel like I heard like a crack when he fell. So,
then the poor servant lady quickly picks him up and puts him outside, away, because she sees the shaman and the evil stepmom leaving her quarters. And
side note, mind you, that shaman hates her guts too, the evil stepmom, because her father apparently killed her, was it her mom and sister?
Yeah, her whole entire family. Yeah. Because they didn't want to put an evil spell on somebody. Yeah. So her whole family got wiped away. And that's why when she leaves the gate...
And that's why this evil stepmom is an idiot. And you think that woman wants good for you, knowing that?
Well, why do you think she picked up Hongrang, threw him in the well, and this woman's been in pain since... didn't even have the comfort of knowing her son is dead, like just
Yeah.
all that hope that he might come
Yeah.
back. That was her revenge.
Yeah, and watching her
that was her payback.
and just watching her crash out, become a drug addict, all of that was
Oh,
her.
yeah.
Yeah.
She did that on purpose, like
No,
because
but
she
what
could
I'm
have left Hongrang there.
But what I'm saying is, evil stepmom, you know the history. Why
but
would I
she's
even work with this shaman
no.
lady?
You see, rich people think that even though they hurt people,
Yeah.
that these people could never get
Yeah.
their lick back.
Which is-
They
that
never
could-
truly fear people that are not on their level.
That doesn't make sense
They
to me.
underestimate people.
Yeah.
And that's why she underestimated the shaman lady. And the shaman lady's like, guess what? You're never gonna have peace because you're never gonna know what happened to your kid, and threw him in the well.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, was he truly dead, or was the shaman lady drowned him on purpose too?
No. He was dead.
He was fully.
Yeah. I
okay.
heard that crack. I think he broke his neck or something, or his head. I don't know, but yeah.
I mean,
he was dead.
The show was interesting. You know, the story could have been interesting. I think they just needed to execute it a little bit better.
And stick to a certain. Yeah. It was just too many storylines
And less
going
minions.
on. Yeah.
There's way too many characters
Yeah.
that were doing stuff. I was getting all the aides mixed up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this dude is
Well,
the chief's right-hand man.
yeah.
This one is Mujin's right-hand man. This one
The
is the
only
evil
one,
step.
the only one that was clear to me was the evil stepmom's guy. She
Yes.
had one guy, and it was
One guy
Yeah.
and everybody else,
Yeah.
you know? And the guy with the eye patch, like, after that, I was like, I don't know who's who.
even the guy with the eye, like he was such an unnecessary character, like literally. So he was just the guy that brought imposters.
Literally.
That was his.
All the time.
Yeah,
He was an idiot. But,
but like I said, the OST was amazing.
oh, it was
Fight
beautiful.
scenes were incredible, and the cinematography was absolutely stunning and beautiful. But the story, like you said,
Yeah.
fell very short for me. I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
Yeah?
Like I said, the OST, the cinematography,
And the acting.
and Jae-wook.
well, you
and
might
the-
as well give it an 8.
Huh?
Might as well give it an 8 then. 7.5.
I think 7.5 is perfect. Like I said, Jae-wook.
Yes.
Gave
because
it,
of it.
yeah.
You know what, though? He did look very sexy
See
in
what
that
I mean?
wig.
I told you.
Very sexy in that wig.
Oh my god.
I mean, he really doesn't do it for me, but
No,
like
but
I think that's the most
I
attractive
told
I
you,
found
his
him.
aura, like the way he fights, and
Girl
just
with the
oh
long
my
hair and the
God.
sword and the bangs.
I don't even like that long
At the
hair
very-
look. To
oh,
be
I
honest.
love the long hair. I was like, whoosh, whoosh. It was great.
No. But when he first came into the scene and they played that song,
Oh my
chills.
God.
Oh my
It's
god,
the song, I'm
It
telling
is.
you. Every time that those drums
Yeah,
started playing, I was like, oh, shit's about to get
Oh,
real
I know.
now. Like, it was
I just want to go to war.
literally, I was ready
Like-
to fight someone.
I'm like, where's my sword?
No, it was really, really good. The music was good.
Yeah.
The acting was great.
Okay,
DJ
I'll give it an
looked
8.
very good.
But,
I
yeah.
think you want to give it an 8
I will
because
give
you
it an
do
8.
like him a lot.
I love.
I'm gonna give it a 7.
Jae-wook. Like I said, he needs to just stay in historicals because
Yeah.
that man clearly.
Honestly, even though Impossible Air, the story kind of went at the end, he did a really good job.
Oh, okay, yeah,
It was just the story kind of like lost its steam towards the end, but I like him.
yeah.
I think he's
love
good.
him. That is a babe.
I think he's a great actor.
he is.
You know, he's just not sexy to me. I think he's good looking.
Oh,
I don't
no.
find him hot,
He's hot.
but he was
He's
hot with the wig
everything.
though. The
Huh?
wig and the fighting scenes that made him hot for me.
Yeah, so
But
I'll give it an 8. What do you-
I'll give it a 7.
Oh, okay.
What? I really like the music. Like,
Okay, yeah, okay.
and I'm not the biggest fan of him. Like, you know, I did
Who's
enjoy.
your SOS? I'm giving it to Jae-wook, of course.
Obviously,
It's Jae-wook.
he's
all
the
day.
only one. Everybody else was getting on my nerves.
Yeah.
Everybody else. I wanted to like the Grand Prince because I do love him.
No, he's fucking sexy.
But-
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but he was too sick.
No, but the funny thing is, he acted his ass off because usually I find him so attractive, but I did not find him attractive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Literally, he did. No,
Yeah, he played
did
it
a
very
phenomenal
well.
job
He
because
really did.
I was side eyeing him. And I was like, "Get this man
It's
off
like,
my
he's
screen."
not even attractive.
I was like, he's hideous. No, he played that character so well
He
because he
really
truly
did.
was delusional and sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, I give it a 7. All of it was good.
So Jae-wook's your SOS?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
the parts that I liked, I really liked. It was just too many other things just didn't add up for me.
Yeah.
Well, that's our show for today. Thank you so much for listening, and we'd love to know what you think about Hongrang. If you really loved it, please don't hate us for not loving it, and let us know why you loved it. because I feel like this is gonna be like kind of like When the Stars Gossip, where everybody was really divided about it. But
actually not. It's not divided enough for me, to be
true,
honest.
True. Because people are really like hyping it up and not. I think not being honest because their fave is in it. Yeah. But
two things can be true at the same time. I love me some Jae-wook, but at the same time,
we can be honest about certain things.
Yeah.
Well, that's for sure for this week. Thank you so much for joining us. Hope everybody has a wonderful week ahead. Bye.
Bye.